good afternoon. Good afternoon to those that may be viewing as well. How are we doing?
Good.
Yeah? Enjoying the weather?
Oh,
It's been a nice cool off.
we needed some rain. Oh, yes.
That's what I'm out in Waukesha, and I feel like we got a pretty good downpour. There's many a puddles. When I got home Monday night, I think is when the rain happened. No, Sunday. Sunday.
It could rain for a week and it wouldn't be enough.
Oh.
Well, it's gonna rain supposedly, I think, Thursday and Friday, soon as they start the bike races here.
That is this
right,
weekend,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
Right.
The bike race. Is it just Thursday and Friday that the bike races are?
I think it may be on
No,
Thursday, the
Saturday.
parking sign says Thursday.
Oh, does it? I thought it said the 24th. Isn't that Saturday?
The 24th is
No,
Thursday.
No, Thursday.
Oh,
Because I thought I saw only the 24th too, but historically weren't they on Saturday?
My daughter's coming down and she said she thought it was Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
The parking sign say no parking Thursday only.
Okay.
oh.
So yes, that's a great reminder for us. Do you know, is that an evening thing?
No.
Or is it all day?
All day
Today.
All day. Okay.
We were here a few years ago when they had them. And you could stand on the corner of Downer and
Right.
Bradford,
And
and they just go round and
Yeah.
round and round.
and you'd see them every time they came by and then
Yeah.
they disappear again.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we should probably put up a special announcement. Hey Mary, do you want a cup of coffee?
Oh, no, thanks. I'll just turn this chair around.
So we should probably put a notice up just so we're all aware. Thank you for that reminder, because I'm sure parking and we'll have some more people, and so that's the 24th all day. And what's it called? The Downer Bike? No,
Is it a criterion? I don't know if it is or not.
Classic?
Downer Classic is what I always.
Classic, yeah, I think that's it.
That's what I always. So it's the biking Downer. Okay. All right, we'll put a note up so that everybody's aware, and then.
There's
You
a
know.
big sign hanging
Yeah,
across the
there's a-
street.
But I see that by Hollander, by the CVS in Hollander, right
Yeah.
there. There's a
Yeah.
big
And it has
sign.
the name on it.
Yeah.
Who pays attention?
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. Since we're in that vein, before I forget, tomorrow we'll have a marketing event here for prospective residents. Brad Breeding. Don't know if anybody's familiar with him, but he's coming. He speaks on senior living, more on the financial aspects of the contracts and things of that nature. We have 25 prospective residents and adult children coming. They'll be in Lindsay Hall from starting around 10 a.m. till about 1. And so they'll potentially are also going to be in the courtyard as well after the event, kind of mingling. And then Heidi, Anna, and Fern will be taking them up and viewing a few apartments as well. So just a note as you see so maybe some future neighbors. And so
We like
Anna,
that, yeah.
since you're walking past live stream, do you have anything to
Wow.
mention? I know, guest appearance, Anna Landis.
So glad to be here. So great to see you all.
We were just talking about the event tomorrow.
Yes, so we have a speaker coming. His name is Brad Breeding. He specializes in the options in senior living, since it's a confusing process to navigate these days. So he's speaking about that, and he's from North Carolina, so we're excited to have him here.
Have you a Mr. Banzaf who may be coming?
He is. Good friend of mine, and yours, right?
Yes.
Why would I want to go to this? I mean,
You're not gonna go.
I don't want to go.
Just stay out of the way.
These are prospective. Oh, okay, I don't want to go.
You're not.
You're way past.
It's
Yeah.
too late for you, Ann.
So-
You're here
But
already.
I didn't have that, did I? Nobody.
No,
No,
you came in during an
COVID.
interesting time.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Anything else I can answer while I'm here?
all right. Well, we put Anna on the spot, so
All
thank
right,
you, Anna.
good. Thank you.
But Ann, we'll kind of segue. Is there, because what we want for our current residents is presenters and things of that nature that you want to be brought in. I know we had the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. I forget the individual's name there to
Right.
sign everybody up. I think there was a number of residents, of close to over to 20, I want to say.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know, can you help me with his name? The gentleman's name. He always says
It's
he's
not
got.
Frankel, but it's something of that kind of peculiar name.
Yeah, so
Frankel,
I just know in
Frankel.
talking with Laura, the gentleman truly enjoys being at East Castle. You're the most engaged residents that he goes around to all the senior living communities. But he says East Castle Place always has A, the best attendance, and B, the most inquisitive and interested residents. So he's always wanting to come back and talk more about it and always able to provide services. So.
One of the things I'm hoping for is that we do get to have a tour of the place. And I think Laura is working with it.
Of the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra?
The new facility.
Oh, I didn't even know they put up a new
Oh,
facility.
Oh, yes.
I know there is one.
It's on Wisconsin Ave?
Yeah, it
Is it-
used to be the Warner Theater,
Okay.
and they completely redid it.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't place
Ah. Well, I'm sure that'll be good to get out there, because I know that's the other thing we're bringing back is the lunch outings starting in July. Again, transportation, things of that nature. Grocery shopping has already started. But again, I think it's getting back to that normal that I think we've all been. Again, this summer especially, I know personally for me, it seems like I have a distant memory of last summer, but in how much time I spent at home as comparatively to this summer, where I wish I might be able to spend a day at home. You know, because every weekend is booked, making up for lost time, right? But yeah, what else? What other things are we interested in? Any other updates I can provide you?
How are you doing with security and parking lot?
So parking lot security. So we continue to invest or request security firms to come out. Eric and I met with an individual that's providing us a gate proposal, and unfortunately the gate just with materials is probably going to be out 6 to 8 weeks out. We will have a gate in 8 weeks at the entrance and back here. And so again, we're waiting on the proposal. More communication will follow in regards to that, but we will have a gate offset coming into Bradford Terrace, and then most likely back here will be kind of an arm mechanism to secure the parking lot.
Tell me about exiting, because the fact is, if I'm a burglar, I'm not gonna try to drive my car in. I'm gonna walk in, I'm gonna steal the car, and I believe those doors on the gates automatically open and let you out.
So,
Correct?
so potentially, we're not sure on that, but the gate will be gated all the way to the front entrance. So again, there will be a pedestrian gate that is locked that will have to be keyed in or a proxy card. And so that's the only way you'll be able to get into the parking lot.
Oh, I can't just walk under
You can't walk underneath, because it'll be a full gate. On this side, it'll be a full gate that will match the current gate
This guy is
fencing.
the arm.
This guy is the arm, and this is not where individuals are coming in.
Where would visitors, how would they maneuver?
So it'll be tied into our front desk system. Again, we're still working through these details. I'm only sharing this with you and for those of you that are viewing. It's very preliminary in that Eric and I have been working through this for a number of weeks. We are still looking at getting that security firm in to do some rounding. Our security guards are going outside in the evening and just flashing lights and being present. Milwaukee Police Department again is rounding our parking lots at least once a morning or evening. Sometimes sitting in the parking lots to do paperwork, just because of the recent break-ins that have been happening across the city. Unfortunately, it's an epidemic.
Yes, it is.
It's up 188% from last year. So it's very unfortunate. So we will continue to work through that. We do have the best security system in the city from what the police have said. However, you know that's reactive. We've increased the signage to make it more apparent as a deterrent. We did that about 2 months ago. But you know, until we get the gate up, you know, and continue that, we'll go forward. Yes, Ian.
Again, if you have someone visiting you, how are they going to get into the parking lot?
Right.
Or into the circle?
So the circle will still be available.
Okay, I thought you said it was going to extend.
No, I'm saying extend past that, the front gate parking lot. Hi, Peter. And across the sidewalk. It's not going to extend all the way
Okay,
to the circle drive.
okay.
So
But how would someone,
so it'll be tied into our front desk.
so they would have to get into the front
Nope, they could go to the gate and the alert would go, to let the front desk press a button, and then the front desk would press a button and the gate would open.
Okay,
The other possibility is that during regular business hours, meaning 9 to 5, 7 a.m. to 5, something of that nature where we know that staff are very present and that we know that it's not as likely, the gate may remain open during that time. And then after 5 or after 7 or what is determined, then it would go back to you have to be let in physically. So again, just trying to work with that, obviously with staff and things of that nature too. So much more is to come on that, but do know that we are working through multiple solutions. Security companies, again, we've been trying security companies for the last 2 months. If we get a call back, we're lucky. If I've had one appointment and they didn't show up.
Yeah.
And I've called them back and I've gotten to the salesman, oh, I'm so sorry, we'll be back out. When? Let me call you back. 3 days pass, I call back, I don't get a response, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Because
So-
everybody's looking for the same thing, right?
It is unfortunate. I mean, again, your best deterrent is locking your doors, of course. They are looking for the ease, but again, yeah, I unfortunately don't know. Again,
St. Mary's have a problem,
Columbia St. Mary's?
or whatever?
Yes. The Catholic home does not, which is interesting because, again, their parking lot is tucked behind. And so it's one way in, one way out. It's a little bit tougher. It's not right off of the drive, right off of Bradford Terrace or right to an alley. They have had some break-ins, but not nearly as much and prevalent as us. So when I watch the tapes, it was about a little bit ago, they went from the Catholic home, hopped over into our parking lot. But again, that was the one time I saw that. Everywhere else, it's 3 to 5 minutes they're spending on the campus, tops.
And then they drive it away.
They either drive it
Have
away,
they stolen any?
yes,
They have taken some away.
unfortunately.
I like, the best was last year though, when they put Judy Frankowiak's car on blocks and stole all 4 of her wheels.
when my daughter was here, they had smashed windows.
Yeah. They had glass.
Shorewood's up 300% from a theft. You can go to District 1 and put the old school club
Yeah,
on the steering wheel. If you have a Kia or a Hyundai, I don't know. I'm hoping that this is just something that they figure out where real jobs are available and get them. But again, unfortunately,
Hope springs eternal.
right, exactly.
And can we
but-
hope that in the future, we let everyone know if they're having a problem with our
Well,
parking lot?
Again, yes, but at the same time, yes, I will.
Again, I don't think that people are gonna get neurotic about it, but, people like me, I don't have to park outside. If I'd heard that there was an issue with the parking garage, I would have only parked under the house where I have a slot. Although people then would be more careful about locking, not leaving stuff in, if they know that unfortunately there's an issue there.
Well, if you live in the city and you're not locking your doors or you're leaving something valuable behind, I would encourage you to not do that, period. I don't do that in my own garage in the suburbs of Milwaukee.
Yeah, and I didn't do it either, but they still broke in.
Right.
So.
And again, because it doesn't matter, my brother-in-law's car in Nashville, Tennessee, a very nice part of the neighborhood got smashed in, nothing taken. So again, unfortunately, they catch these individuals and they put them in juvenile detention and then they're back out 7 days later.
Yeah.
So it's a slap on the wrist and kind of a game. Yes, Dan?
If you have a visitor
Mhm.
overnight, is there any way they could rent a space in an almost empty underground garage?
We can look into that. We can definitely look into that.
Well, how lucky you that you've got overnight visitors.
I know, I have a friend, one friend.
Wow.
My daughter, she has to like me.
But speaking of which, the apartments that were used for guests aren't available yet, are they?
July 15th.
July 15th, okay.
So guest suites will be coming back online. Again, we're just working through just getting them back to clean and also just making sure our protocols are in place. So
When will the workers here be able to go maskless?
great question, Ann. So this was kind of a starting conversation. So I think obviously the residents have been maskless for going on 4 weeks by now. The employees are still underneath the strictest umbrella, essentially, which is healthcare. Excuse me. And although 65% of our staff are fully vaccinated, and the numbers of that, there's a greater number of full-time staff that are. Right now, we will probably be getting guidance from LCS as well as, in coordination with DHS, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, staff will begin to have the option to go maskless if they are vaccinated. I already told the staff if they are not vaccinated, they will not be able to remove their masks, period. And 2, they'll have to be in a non-healthcare area, meaning that if they are in the health centers, memory care, assisted living, they will still have to wear masks. Again, that is both a DHS guidance, so Department of Health Services, but for those of us that primarily work in the independent living or are walking the hallways, their potential is, as long as we are vaccinated, we can validate that through our Human Resources Department, they would be able to go maskless. But this time, there's no guidance. The first guidance, again, will probably fall around that 7/15 mark. So middle of July is probably the earliest that employees can begin to start going maskless if they get the vaccine or have had the vaccine. The good news on that front is we just worked with our pharmacy partner, Health Direct, and we will be getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on site. That is the 1 dose, and our nursing staff will be able to administer that. We're still working through the details on that, but again, I think it's a very bright hope. Makes it more accessible to new residents, but also newer staff members and staff members that may have not gotten it. Don't have those details yet, but we're hoping for, again, middle of July to have that available. And then also, when we open a vial, because we want to be good stewards of it, we'll also be opening up to family members of employees so that we can use the full vial. So
Free.
free, yes, no cost. Again, don't want to break down every barrier. We are still testing employees on a weekly basis if they have not been vaccinated. And we currently do not have any residents that are positive with COVID, nor employees. So, does that answer the question, Ann?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are some employees still refusing to be vaccinated?
Yes. Why, you may ask, is the next follow-up question logically? Your guess is
Because it's right.
Your guess, yes,
Yeah.
it is their right. And we are not in a position, and I'm sure you've probably seen the news and read a couple stories about states and counties and hospitals that have mandated it and what that's looking like. Again, that's something that I'll tell you is something we're staying away from, is the mandation. At this time, we want to continue to learn more about it. Again, we have enough issues and barriers of getting employees into East Castle Place. And again, if somebody's adamant and strong and their faith, creed, decree, whatever it is, social setting, again, but they can provide an excellent service or care to you as residents, I think, and again, we all want to be safe. And again, we have safety measures in place like these masks and things of that nature. But again, the flu vaccine has been tested, tried, and true for a number of years, which is why we do mandate that. And again, we will continue to mandate that, and we'll provide those clinics as well. But the vaccine is not mandated, and our staff are still not. They're not saying, you can offer it to me, I'm not going to get it. I haven't had those conversations. It's just like, I'm just not. I don't want you know, I just don't.
But it's a dead giveaway if some people are still wearing the mask and others aren't.
To a degree. At the same time, I told all staff, if you feel more comfortable after a year and a half of wearing this mask and you are vaccinated and you still want to wear it, wear it. This is completely optional. It's no different than any residents that feel more comfortable wearing a mask.
And there are residents that
And
continue.
Yes, yes.
right, and I have no issue with that, and that's going to be for the end of time. Again, I don't foresee, if you want this as a preventative measure, I mean, again, you look at a country like South Korea or even China, and I know there's different health factors, but masks are a part of what they
They've
do
been doing that for
for
years.
years,
Yes,
right? And
that's
so
because of
That's
pollution.
nothing.
it is
And
pollution
it's
in China, especially, but even in South Korea,
When they travel outside of China, they
Mhm.
still wear the mask.
right?
Not all of them, but
No.
some.
Some of the stores are still requiring, CVS still has a mask look.
And I know I just saw in the news the city returned on Monday. All the city buildings are requiring masks, but they are open for the first time in 15 months. 14 months, I guess, probably February. So, and I know this probably goes without saying, but if you're going down and you're in that Deer District cheering on the Bucks, just want you all to be safe, okay? I mean, there's thousands of. Have you been watching
Oh
that?
my
Yes.
gosh.
I mean, there's more people outside the stadium than the stadium would hold.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
So
So
yeah,
even when they're not here, they're out.
I know. I mean, Saturday night.
Yeah.
That was an incredible game, but no, it's an exciting time for Milwaukee. Since 1971, we haven't had a team in the conference finals. So,
Well, and people haven't had anything to do for a whole year.
Yeah. yeah,
Now
It's
there's
something to do,
something to cheer about.
yeah.
something to feel good about. Yeah. So, all right. What other questions? What else is on everybody's mind? Yeah, Mary.
Maybe you could give us an update on the situation with the recycling?
Can I say that for State of the Castle on Thursday?
Yes, you can.
Because I don't want to speak out of turn. That's an update I'll have to get from Eric. I do know, how has the recycling garbage room been? I'll start there.
It's very confusing to me.
Okay.
I don't know
Confusing
which
in
one
the.
to put it in because they're all questionable.
Okay.
That's a word.
Okay.
It's my word.
Okay. What was the word, Ann?
What was
What
it?
was the word?
Questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah, it's all, you don't know. You can look in there and you think, aha, it's recyclable. And then there's plastic. There's no rhyme or reason.
And Mary, were you getting at our vendor out here from a recycling standpoint, or what were you asking?
Well, I frankly stopped giving very much advice to anyone pending a new contractor, which is what I thought was
Okay.
gonna happen. But I don't think it's happened yet.
It is not. But
So,
it-
and I don't know when it will, because
yeah,
it's been expected
yeah,
every time.
yeah. So I know, and again, that's where I need to circle back with Eric, and I should have a better update for Thursday. State of the Castle is at 1 o'clock in Lindsay Hall. It will be live streamed as well, but I'll put that on the agenda to see where we're at. I know that we've had bids out. I don't know if they've been returned. I do know that our compactor's finally fixed, which again, you'd think trash should be kind of one of the more simple things that we deal with in a day-to-day in a building like this. If you ask Eric, it's probably where he's lost a couple of years off of his life, dealing with the headaches of the contractors and getting that. But again, and then as far as the trash rooms and things of that nature, again, I know the Green Committee has done education. I know we've put up signs. I know we're waiting,
Clear.
but again,
The signage is not very clear yet, and there's
Yeah.
still a problem with the trash containers not being clearly marked either, and so
They all say trash only.
sometimes, well, they say different things different weeks, it depends on when you check or which room you check.
Oh, that makes it a nice challenge.
You know, truly, it is not resolved yet. I know, you can tell that they've attempted to resolve it, and they're generally cleaner than they were, you know.
Yes.
You can tell that they've been cleaned, but and in the absence of clear instructions on what even should go in the recycling, if it was really labeled, but it is very confusing, and it's just not consistent at all, so.
Okay.
You know, and if he's able to at least give us better instructions on what to put in the recycling,
Everything okay?
it's just, there just isn't any clear guidance at the moment.
All right. I'll have Eric provide an update to the best of his ability on the recycling matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Do we know these people actually do recycle, or are they throwing it all in the same landfill?
it's a great question for our next contractor, because again, that is something that I've seen and heard through. I haven't researched this, so I'm no expert, but that is something I've heard where it's all still going to one, and
So
then
then we don't have to worry about sorting it, we'll just throw it all in.
That's true, and if we don't, then if we knew that, we wouldn't,
right.
we wouldn't keep
It's,
asking.
isn't it called like single source, and then they do it at the
Well, theoretically, but you know, Eric feels that they do sort it,
okay.
no matter where we put it, but, well, not quite that extreme, but,
Right.
We could have a tour.
we
See
could have a
what they do
tour.
with their trucks.
We could,
What did you say?
Would you have a tour of the dumping facility?
No.
Oh, shame on
well,
you.
we don't know what dumping facility is being even used right now.
Right. That's what I need. I'll have Eric
There are
give an
many
update.
questions.
There
many
are.
questions.
And I have no answers, which I do not like. But here we are, and I will find the answers, and I will have Eric provide an update.
Thank you.
My
Yeah,
pleasure.
I've been to the dump in Door County, I mean, you have to dump your own because they don't have trucks picking up, and it's all very neatly labeled, plastics, appliances. I mean, you know, it can be
It
separated
can be.
by the homeowner,
That's
but
right.
God knows if those people wanna do it.
Right. I know that yeah,
Can we go from garbage to food?
I mean, I guess
Nothing
we
is the
can,
other way.
we can transition, sure.
Good. We had, Polly and I and several others had the pleasure of meeting with you and Carlos and Tim for a preview. He is an applicant for the chef job here, so we are gonna have a chef. Now, the question I have is this, are there other applicants?
Not to the caliber of Tim. And so, and it's not that Tim was the only, but Tim has an extended offer at this time to be our next executive chef.
Oh, okay.
So, again, that's where we interviewed multiple, but did not see them as fit or to the caliber that was necessary. And so again, we will be seeing if Tim can start going through, you know, the various pre-hire pieces, and then we'll have a formal introduction of Tim when all signed, sealed, and delivered. But yes,
How do those jobs differ, Carlos and Tim?
so great question. So if you're watching this, we're talking about our food and beverage program, and Sandra Meyer as the chair of the food and beverage committee, along with selected residents, and Carlos and myself were able to taste what was put that Tim, the chef candidate, had. Tim has over 25 years of experience and very well versed in an executive chef and in different capacities. But the question Polly's raising is, how do those Carlos's role and the executive chef role? So Carlos is the director of hospitality. So he is responsible for everything in the kitchen, going from the food to the ordering, to the sanitation, to the regulations, to the healthcare component. All of those pieces that are food and beverage related, Carlos essentially is responsible for. And so when I say, you know, what's going on in the hospitality department, my first point of contact is Carlos. Carlos then, with the executive chef, is basically his right hand, so to speak. So the executive chef is responsible for menu preparation, menu delivery, quality oversight, ordering, fine tuning, being efficient with the staff, being a manager and supervisor of the cooks, the prep cooks, and stewards. Then we have Mary, who we all know. She is the front of the house, our manager for the servers and kind of that front of the house experience. So it's, if you look at it, it's kind of the Carlos, then you have the executive chef, you have Mary that reports into Carlos. We also have a lead steward position for more of the healthcare components that report up as well. So again, from a leadership standpoint, if Carlos is in here, then the executive chef steps into that, main capacity, so to speak, and vice versa. But Carlos, his background is as a culinary trained executive chef. That is Carlos's background. And Carlos, obviously, over the course of years, has gained management experience and is responsible now for the budget, responsible for personnel, responsible for a lot. Carlos also plays many roles in these capacities where we're in transition phases, but that's how their roles differ. So Carlos, again, provides oversight more of the administrative piece in actuality, and then the executive chef more, and again, the executive chef is not expected to prepare the food.
He's not cooking.
And he does cook, and he is responsible for the food that is put out to both you as well as the community at large, and is responsible for the training and making sure that the preparation is done appropriately. It's Kathleen is the sous chef, for instance. She's in a similar capacity, and then we have our line cooks in Sham and Connie and Susan, Diane and Denise and Andrew. So again, in a given day, we are providing upwards of 400 meals to the campus for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Again, and again, that's on a lower. We've been as high as 500 to 600. And again, so it takes a lot of coordination and effort. And again, if any of your foundation, your dishwashers, because without dishes, you can't really do too much cooking. And so again, it is a very complex, and then you're going to 3 different areas in a given night and 3 different floors. So again, the wizardry almost, the magic that happens behind the doors is quite incredible. So again, then you have to think we have a fresh produce coming in 3 to 4 times a week. We have a Cisco truck that's bringing in the food and the proteins and things of that nature twice a week at minimum. Not to mention the different vendors that we use as well, and pretzels and things of that nature. So again, it's very complex, but I know that was a very long answer on what is Carlos's role compared to the executive chef. It's just we function for the last year and a half in more of a kitchen manager type role, and then that kitchen manager resigned, and we wish Steph Brister was that individual, has done an incredible job, and has opportunities elsewhere, and so again, going back into that normal structure.
Who hires and fires?
The directors as well.
The waiters and the kitchen staff and all, that's,
So human resources, our director of human resources and our human resources assistant, Mia and Jen, are responsible for the recruiting and for the pre-hire and onboarding experience and the entire employee life cycle experience. But the directors are ultimately responsible for the interviewing, the onboarding, training, and then obviously the performance management. So, and again, we still are down servers.
last night was good.
Good.
And there must have been 5 or 6 of them last night.
Good. I mean, we're getting back to a stronger point. Unfortunately, we're not as stable as we want to be. And again, if you look across the restaurant spectrum, Lake Park Bistro, for instance, we asked them about an event, and they said they only have certain times available, limited capacity, because they cannot find servers. So, you know, I think, again, talking with Carlos and Carlos's network that he talks to, we're probably another 6 months out before real stabilization. And again, it's just coming out.
You know things are bad when the airline has to cancel flights because they don't have enough.
I mean, American Airlines,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I've been
Yeah.
seeing that too.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, you think of a multi-billion-dollar industry
Because of stewardess?
having
And pilots.
pilots and stewardess. They can't find them.
Well, the pilots.
And
it's
ground
silly.
crew.
And
You
ground
can't
crew,
pay them enough.
yeah.
Maintenance and
What
that
can
kind of
they
thing
pay?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I would think this will never paying jobs. The pilot gets paid money. He's gonna wanna work.
Well,
Maybe.
it isn't just that, but, American Airlines, they said, scrapped a lot of their older planes.
Oh, I
So-
thought they're older pilots, right?
Well, now they're getting new planes that they have to retrain the pilots on, because they don't know how to fly the new planes.
That's right.
Probably a good step that they
Yes.
want to know.
I
Fly.
probably
If I
trained
were
them.
flying, I'd wanna know that the pilot knew how to fly the plane, yes.
Yeah, they don't fly themselves yet. So.
I don't think I wanna be on a plane that's flying itself.
No?
Or in
You
a
don't want
car.
to be the test pilot, so to speak? No
It's
pun
a car.
intended.
no.
Or
That's
next to
what
a
autopilot
car
is.
that's driving itself.
No,
No, thank you.
No.
No.
Go out to California, you'll see them everywhere.
really?
Out in the Silicon Valley.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, these Google cars and things that are autonomous.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's coming, huh?
I mean,
How can they react if the driver next to them is a real driver and behaves erratically? I mean, how do it know? You know?
the same way we do.
Mhm.
We get in an accident. You know, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it was this morning even. I was on my way to work and 2 accidents. It took me over an hour to get to work, and it was 2 accidents that. There was one right by my house that I've never seen an accident there. Got hung up there for an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and then there was one on 94, which again is a little bit more regular occurrence than you'd like to see. But yeah, it was, and it was like there was no rain, there was no snow, there was no sunshine really. I mean, it was perfect driving conditions, and here we are. So, yes, but you know, who knows? You know what the next 30 years. 2 years, 30 minutes.
30. Thank you.
Won't be.
I'm not gonna worry
No?
about that.
Are we sure?
positive.
30, no, we don't wanna be that old.
I don't wanna live that long.
Alright. Well, anything else I can answer for anybody?
I think that's it. I mean,
Well, my door's always open, so feel free to pop in. And always appreciate that. I will be off on Friday. I'll be taking a quick jaunt down to Kansas City actually to visit some friends. So see what that entails. It should be fun though.
Driving?
Yes.
I don't know if it's better if it rains or moans.
So
Or moans.
It's a long drive.
Yeah.
Keep your ears moving.
be a quick turn and burn.
No, not-
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
I'll
you.
have to try to download.